You are already dead, you just haven't stopped breathing yet. Because a life lived in the shadow of maybe tomorrow isn't a life, it's a rehearsal for a play that will never opening night. You're sitting there, scrolling, waiting for a feeling of readiness that is never coming, paralyzed by the psychological paradox that the more you wait for courage, the more it retreats into the tall grass of your insecurities. Stop looking for a sign from the universe because the universe is indifferent to your comfort. It only responds to the friction of your movement. You think you're being careful, you think you're being calfled, you think you're being calfered in a very expensive suit of rationalization. You tell yourself you're finding yourself when the truth is you are losing yourself to the entropy of inaction. Every second you spend debating your worth is a second you've handed over to the grave. Look at the room around you, the walls that have watched you promise yourself greatness 1,000 times and then watched you settle for a sandwich and a distraction. Those walls are closing in not because they're moving, but because you are staying still while the rest of the world expands. You are the protagonist of a story that has reached the middle of the book. And currently the hero is just sitting in a tavern talking about what he might do if the weather clears up. But the weather never clears up on the mountain of your potential. It is perpetually storming. And the only way to the top is to get comfortable with being cold, wet, and terrified. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the cold realization that something else is more important than your ego's need to feel safe. We've been lied to by a culture that treats feeling good as the ultimate metric of success, when the reality of the human psyche is that growth only occurs in the presence of acute discomfort. Your brain is a survival machine, not a fulfillment machine. It wants you to stay in the cave because in the cave, there are no predators, but there is also no light, no air, and no legacy. You are currently suffocating on the recycled air of your own excuses. You think the mountain in front of you is made of rock and ice, but it's actually made of every no you were too afraid to say and every yes you were too timid to shout. The psychology of courage is the psychology of the bridge burner. It's the moment you realize that the ships behind you are on fire and the only way out is through the forest in front of you. You have been holding onto a safety net that is actually a spider web designed to keep you trapped while time consumes you. You feel that ache in your chest, that restlessness that keeps you up at 3 a.m., that's not anxiety. That's your potential trying to kick the door down. It's the version of you that actually did the work, trying to scream through the veil of time to tell you that you're wasting the only currency that matters. The pain of staying the same has finally become greater than the pain of changing. Yet you're still trying to negotiate with the misery you know. You've built a cozy relationship with your stagnation. You've decorated your prison cell. You've got your favorite shows, your favorite snacks, and your favorite way to complain about why things aren't working out. But out there, on the jagged slopes of the mountain, there is a version of you that is bleeding, tired, and absolutely alive. That version of you doesn't have time for self-doubt because they're too busy finding the next handhold. They don't have the luxury of a crisis of identity because their identity is forged in the heat of the struggle. We are a species defined by what we overcome, not what we avoid. When you avoid the challenge, you are literally deleting your own character development. You are a hollow shell of a human being when you refuse to step into the arena. The arena doesn't care if you're ready. The lions don't ask to see your resume. The only thing that matters is that you are there, standing in the dirt, willing to be torn apart for the sake of something real. Think about the sheer mathematical improbability of your existence. You are the result of billions of years of cosmic accidents, 1,000 generations of ancestors who fought off plagues, famines, and wars just so you could sit here and wonder if you're talented enough to start a business or ask for a raise. It is an insult to your lineage to be this timid. You carry the DNA of survivors, yet you act like a victim of a destiny you haven't even tried to write. The mountain isn't moving, it's waiting. It has seen 1,000 people, just like you stand at the base, look up, and decide that the climb is too steep. It has watched them turn back to the village to live lives of quiet desperation, telling stories to their children about what they almost did. Do you want to be an almost? Do you want your epitaph to be a list of missed opportunities and what ifs? Courage is the decision to be a did. It's the decision to stop being a spectator in your own consciousness. You've been waiting for a mentor to come along and hand you a map. but the map is only drawn as you walk. The ink is your sweat. The paper is the earth beneath your feet. Every step you take into the unknown creates the ground you stand on. This is the secret the greats never tell you. They were guessing the whole time. They were terrified. They were shaking. But they moved. They understood that the only way to silence the inner critic is to move so fast that it can't keep up. Doubt is a slow-moving creature. It thrives on stillness. If you sit still, it will wrap its coils around your throat and whisper every failure you've ever had into your ear until you believe them. But if you run, if you climb, if you fight, the doubt gets left behind in the valley. The weight of your potential is heavy, I know. It's a burden to realize that you are capable of so much more than you are currently doing. It's easier to pretend you're small. It's easier to play the part of the misunderstood genius or the unlucky underdog. But those are just masks you wear to hide from the responsibility of your own power. But those are just masks you wear to hide from the responsibility of your own power. But those are just masks you wear to hide from the responsibility of your own power. But those are just masks you wear to hide from the responsibility of your own power. But those are just masks you wear to hide from the responsibility of your own power. Real courage is taking that mask off and looking at the mirror until you see the stranger staring back, the one who is capable of crushing the mountain if they only had the heart to try. The psychology of success is actually the psychology of endurance. It's not about the big jump. It's about the 1,000 small steps when your legs are screaming and the summit is nowhere in sight. It's about the silence of the early morning when the world is asleep and you're the only one working on the vision that no one else can see. You think you have time? That's the biggest lie your brain tells you. You think you can start next Monday or next year or after you get that certification. You are treating your life like it's a practice run. It's not. This is the performance. The lights are on, the cameras are rolling, and the audience is the ghosts of everyone you ever could have been. They are watching to see if you will finally step up or if you will take a bow before the play even starts. The mountain doesn't care about your excuses. She doesn't care that you had a hard childhood or that you don't have the capital or that the economy is bad. The mountain only cares about gravity, and you can either let gravity pull you down into the mud of mediocrity, or you can use it to build the muscles you need to rise. This isn't a motivational speech. This is a wake-up call in a burning building. The building is your comfort zone. It's beautiful, it's warm, and it's fatal. You need to get out. You need to run toward the cold, toward the wind, toward the things that make your heart hammer against your ribs like a trapped bird. That sensation, that sharp electric fear, that is your internal compass. It is pointing directly at the things you must do. If it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. If it doesn't make you want to throw up a little bit, it's not worth your life. You are a predator of dreams, but currently you're acting like prey. Flip the switch. Realize that the pain of the climb is a temporary investment in a permanent identity. The person you become at the top of the mountain is not the same person who started at the bottom. The climb changes your bone structure. It changes the way you breathe. It changes the way you look at the world. From the summit, the things that used to terrify you look like ants. The disasters of your past become the scenery of your journey. But you will never see that view if you stay in the tavern. You will never know what it feels like to have the clouds beneath your feet if you're too afraid of the hike. You are currently standing at the edge of a decision. One path leads back to the village, back to the safety of fine, back to the slow rot of someday. The other path leads straight up into the mist, into the jagged rocks, into the absolute certainty of pain and the possibility of transcendence. Most people choose the village. They die in the village. They are B. You're in the village, but you still listening. There is something in you that recognizes this truth. There is a spark of the old fires, the ones that used to burn before the world, told you to settle down and be realistic. Realistic is just another word for average. Realistic is for people who have given up. You are not realistic. You are a miracle of biology and will. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go back to the scroll? Are you going to find another video that makes you feel good for 10 minutes while your life continues to evaporate? Or are you going to shut this off, stand up, and take the first step toward the thing that terrifies you most? The mountain isn't going anywhere. It will be there tomorrow and the day after, but you might not be. Your window is closing. The sun is setting on your opportunity to be great. Every second you hesitate is a second you've decided to be less than you are. Stop thinking. Thinking is the enemy of courage. Thinking is just a way to delay the inevitable. You know what you need to do? You've known for a long time. You don't need more information. You don't need more information. You don't need more insight. You need to move your body in the direction of your fear. You need to feel the wind on your face and the burn in your lungs. You need to fail and fail again and fail better until the failure itself becomes a ladder. There is no such thing as a smooth path to a peak worth standing on. There are only those who quit and those who kept climbing. The tavern is warm, but it's a tomb. The village is safe, but it's a cage. The mountain is dangerous, but it's the only place where you can truly breathe. Choose the mountain, choose the pain of growth over the pain of regret. Choose the version of you that is covered in scars, but standing tall. The conversation is over, the mentor is leaving the table, the silence is returning, and in that silence, you are alone with your choice. Don't look at me, look at the mountain. Now go, take the step, don't look back, just go.